day one of qualifiers has just finished and went underway with Optic 3-0ing Boston Breach. Optic showing that, they're still in it. They're 100% one of the best teams in the game, and beating Boston Breach, who've been really inconsistent this year. It's good bounce off after losing the major. A nice clean 3-0 going to qualifiers in day one. Nice, easy, simple. And then, of course, the next game, this one was a really shocking one. It was Ravens 3-0ing Koi, showing that they are the best online team that there is, with performing last qualifiers online, doing great after the pickup of Exceed, and then going to the major and just not looking good at all. Losing to Vancouver, losing to who they get 3-0 Thieves. So, and then coming back in here against Toronto, a good squad, a good team. They just made a role change. They just had Insight, they swapped Jamie with Real. Or was it Kleenex? I think it was Kleenex and Real. They switched roles, but that didn't seem like it helped at all. Maybe it even made things worse because it was a clean 3-0 with Royal Ravens. Was really shocking. And another 3-0, three 3-0s in a row, and it was Miami Heretics. For me, I've always considered them a really good and underrated team. They're 100% capable. Last season or last major, they had a new pickup, so slowly had to get rid of things. They got top 8, so that's people expected them to go less, but for me, they're slowly getting back to the round things. Rancor is still one of the best. The Real made a huge decision of leaving, and now the Heretics looks like the better team at the moment. So that's what happens when you leave your boys for some money. So one thing here is Kenny, after retiring, or not retiring, after getting dropped by Thieves, he hasn't really came out and said anything about anything. But recently he's been saying about coaching. He thinks he thinks he's good at the game. He had an offer from C9, but he says that he thinks that he can 100% coach, and I think it would be great. He can. Maybe if he's not even going to play for C9, which obviously they have a new squad already, I think he can help Aaron coach. Bringing Kenny into management, what's the worst that can happen? That is more positives than negatives. You bring in someone like Kenny, a world champion who's been playing for years into the game. And then, of course, CDL got he has been where is it? He had a lot of backlash with Blaze and CDO hate Intel, saying he's unemployed, that he got dropped from the CDO. I thought I had the right tweet up, but we'll see that next time. But C9 with a really controversial pickup. Okis, Encourage, Hyde, and Nedra. For me, I was, when I played comp, I would go against Hyde and Encourage, obviously one of the best in the games. Really, even when they were under 18, they, people knew who Hyde and Courage was. Ryan, Confid, so many players that people would, talk about. And now seeing them in the league is mind blowing to me, just mind blowing, because I played against them. I know who they are. So, and of course, a lot of backlash with them picking up such a young, unexperienced roster. My voice, but hey, man, if no one wants to join and you have a chance, why not? Just take it. I mean, the worst that can happen is you're going to play worse, which is not possible. You already are the worst team in the league, so might as well get some reps in the league and, build build your background up with that. And who knows, they could out of nowhere just impress everybody. It's really, Okis, who people were saying he's been cheating, and then goes for last year in ranked play, and then goes into this season joining the Stallions, showing he's actually a really good player, after competing in Fortnite for so many years. Now to be in the league is actually mind-blowing. It's not because people are saying he's following, people saying because he's known. That's not really the case. I mean, he's had great KDs. He had a great KD, slaying whatever in the major one. So good pickup, 100%. Deserves some reps. And the Courage, who's always been the golden child, who's always been the guy. And then of course there's Hyde and Ezra. Benji reveals the C9's laughable. He was helping Encourage, looking through his deal. I mean, probably for Encourage, he's probably like, I don't care what they're giving me. I'm getting paid peanuts anyways. Might as well join the league, get a little bit of money, get some reps in. it is what it is. I mean, he says there are fast food chains, even grocery stores, or anything else that'll make more than that deal. So, I mean, it is what it is. And then, of course, this one is huge. Zuma might be getting a CDL spot. I don't want them to replace Cloud9. I think adding more to the league than just swapping in and out these past couple years is just hurting the league more. Seeing Zuma being in the league is actually because he's been the guy during the CDL era. He's been, you know, the main, sure there was Scump and Nate shot during the days of Call of Duty, but during the CDL era, Zuma has been that guy. Content, the flank, the players like Call of Duty hasn't had this like platform since early in MLG days. During the CWL, you didn't really have that. Sure, you had the the nameless and study podcast, but besides that, you didn't really have anything. Sure, orgs would pull out a few documentaries here and there, but you never really had someone like Zuma streaming constantly about the league and the growth and players and drama and the flank and interviews and stuff like that. So I think he is 100% the face of it. And then of course you have saying that he rather have the Bush, which I agree. I mean, I think more teams in the league is better. I mean, if you have, the Bush, you have the Stallions, you have Ahmed, maybe even other teams like Space Station or so many being in the league, it's just more positive than negatives. Only if that team puts in the work, unlike how C9 has been running their org.